यस मुझे पता है आपके जहन में आपको भी ये मालूम है कि मैं आपको इसका आंसर नहीं दूंगा क्योंकि मैं अलाउड नहीं है मुझे बताना. जस्ट दैट फीलिंग ऑफ बीइंग एट होम, आई थिंक दैट फील्स लाइक इश्क टू मी. And talking to you and Nandi, both of y'all on Bollywood Bubble feels like ishq to me. I mean, who doesn't want to be the national crush? I've said this before. When they started referring to me as the national crush is when I was like, oh shit, it's a big deal. I was actually being filmed. So I was basically giving them the permission to film me while I let go of my comfort and I do something that's out of my comfort zone. I don't take the pressure. I think the only pressure I take is of me making myself happy. Of course, the first couple of months after the loss was very, very tough because, you know, you're grieving and you don't know where to begin your life from. You know, you don't know where to pick the pieces up from. It says Suresh and there's a star on top of that. And I remember getting this done at 16 because I remembered thinking about who my star is, and I couldn't think of anyone but my dad.
Someone who followed his heart right from a very young age to becoming the national crush of India itself. Rohit Saraf joins me today on Bollywood Bubble. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much, Bhavna. You are the sweetest. Like, I am so happy to be talking to you. I absolutely love talking to Bollywood Bubble. You and Nandi, both of y'all are my absolute favorite people to speak with. And honestly, I'll be very honest with you, we've had a very long day, but I have so much energy right now just because I saw you and I'm just so happy.
Thank you. That made my day, in fact. But tell me now, feels like ishq. मैंने देखा, मैंने आपका part देखा. Star host. I think it suits you very well as well. You are a star, and in that entire part, you are the star host as well. But feels like ishq. If I may ask,
Yes.
To Rohit, what feels like ishq to you?
I think the feeling of home. And now I don't know, because, you know, with every juncture, every point in my life, I think that changes the feeling of home. I think, you know, sometimes I find it in people, sometimes I find it in a place, sometimes I find it in a project. But I think just that feeling of being at home, I think that feels like ishq to me. And talking to you and Nandi, both of y'all on Bollywood Bubble feels like ishq to me.
God. It feels like ishq to us also. We are also part of that chain. But tell me, I saw the film. I mean, the entire part. I loved it. It was so sweet. It was so, like, you know, by the end of it, you leave smiling because you are just like, wow, that was cute, right? But it also talks about how you can leave your inhibitions at one point, how you have to let go of certain restrictions you have for yourself. When was that first time, Rohit, that you had to let go of a certain inhibition that you had, perhaps? And what was that inhibition?
I think, you know, Bhavna, the first time I would say obviously was a part of one of these things, but I think it happens to us every day. Especially as actors, you know, we have, just like other people, we have a lot of inhibitions. And every time you're in front of the camera, you have to kind of leave it behind. And, you know, most often than not, it's your directors pushing you to do it, you know, to leave your inhibition behind. But a lot of times I find myself doing that for myself. I think the first time I ever felt like, you know, it's okay, chuck it, just go for it, was the first time when I was giving an audition. Before that, I'd never given an audition before, so I didn't know how it felt. And now, you know, then I remember I reached my audition for the first time, and I was made to stand in front of the camera, and I had the script and I had to enact it, and let alone inhibitions. This time I was actually being filmed, so I was basically giving them the permission to film me while I let go of my comfort and I do something that's out of my comfort zone. So yeah, I think that was the first time I let go of my inhibitions, and I'm so glad that I did.
Yeah, and I'm glad you did, because this is the reason why, you know, we are talking today.
Absolutely.
But tell me, it's been a long journey for you, Rohit. It's not been an easy one. I remember I had a chat with you during Mismatch, wherein you spoke about the struggles that you had to endure. Today, when you reflect back on it, how do you see that journey? Do you, that phase wherein you had your struggle? How do you reflect back on it today?
I think I hold it closer to my heart than I hold my successes. the the projects that I've actually bagged. Of course, I'm very, very grateful for it, and I couldn't have asked for anything better. But I also cherish my struggles as much, because that is what has made me who I am as a person today. I feel like the only way I could develop this kind of endurance and this kind of resilience is because of those struggles. So I am very grateful for it, and I am a very, very firm believer, as I've told you before, as I've told Nayan before, that I'm a very firm believer of the fact that everything happens for a reason. And now, with each passing day, it just finds different ways to kind of reiterate that in my life. So yeah, I reflect back on the journey that I've had, and I feel like there is no better graph, or there is no better journey that I could have ever asked for.
True, and I feel so proud to see you do all this work now, Rohit, because I remember during Mismatch, you were like, I just hope that this works out. And after that, it's been a game changer for you, right?
Yeah.
Do you see a change in the way the industry is perceiving you and your talent now? Do you see a change in the way they're approaching you for different kind of scripts?
I'm not entirely sure about it, because we've not had the opportunity to actually go out and meet people publicly. But one thing that has changed is that I get a lot of exciting parts to audition for, which has always been something that I've always wanted for myself. To audition for exciting parts that I haven't done before, or that I haven't seen myself do before. So that is something that has definitely changed, and it's very, very exciting.
Earlier, to get those auditions were also very difficult for you, is it?
I think it's difficult to get auditions, period. As in the sense, I think it's not just my journey, but it's the journey of lakhs of people who want to be an actor. It's not particularly that it's hard for me to get auditions, but I think it's hard for everyone. Because, sometimes you don't know the right opportunities, you don't know what's happening, etc., etc. But that has changed a little bit for me. I get a lot of opportunities where I can go and test for or audition for, and that I'm very grateful for.
I introduced you by saying that you have become the national crush, and of course that you have. Our people have been going gaga over your looks, over your smile, and just the characters that you play. Do you sometimes feel a little like pressured that you have to live up to that tag that you have been given now? Do you sometimes feel pressured?
I would feel the pressure if I let myself feel the pressure. I think of course, what people think of me and what people perceive me as is a very big deal. But I have never chased that before. I've never chased that in my life. I've always chased self-sufficiency, happiness for myself, happiness for my family, and I feel like as long as I can achieve that, that will be the feeling of being home. And I think that is something that I'm going to continue to chase for the rest of my time here, because I feel like that is most important. And I feel like I don't want to be in a situation where I am doing work that's making other people happy, but it's not making me happy. I think what matters to me the most is that at the end of the day, when I go back home from a long day, I want to be proud of the kind of work that I'm doing. Yeah. So yeah, I don't take the pressure. I think the only pressure I take is of me making myself happy, and that I think is a good kind of pressure.
That is the most amazing kind of pressure, because that is the most important thing as well. To make you should be happy with your work by the end of the day. Right?
Yeah.
But tell me, when you first heard of this phenomenon, wherein everyone is like, Rohit is the national crush, and everyone is going gaga over it. What was your initial reaction like? Were you even able to accept?
I actually didn't believe it, Bhavna. I actually didn't believe it for the longest time, because I felt like it's just something on the internet that's going to die down very soon. But it panned out in a way that after that, whenever I started giving interviews, or when I started meeting work people or friends of friends, it's when they started referring to me as the national crush, is when I was like, oh shit, it's a big deal, because this suddenly feels like it's a reality now. And at that time, it felt surreal, to be honest. I mean, who doesn't want to be the national crush? I've said this before, but I think it's not just as actors, but as humans, we want to be loved. and to see the kind of love that is poured in for the last couple of months, it's almost unbelievable at times, where I wake up and I look at all the amazing things that happen over the social media, or like people sending texts and all of that, and I just feel like, you know, this is the life that I want for the rest of my life. And that's when, you know, it hits me that, oh my God, it's finally happening.
You know, I still remember during Mismatched, I had told you that, you know, I have this feeling that Mismatched ke baad it will be it's going to be an upward journey for you. And it just makes me so happy to see you there, you know, Rohit. But tell me, about Feels Like Ishq, one of the common factors was that your character is someone who's very ambitious. He wants to have that vacation in the Northern Lights. He wants to live his dream.
Yeah.
You, as Rohit, is also living his father's dream and your dream of, you know, of being where you are.
Yeah.
You know, just taking you back there, how much of an influence has your father been in your life? And I mean, you know, how did you cope up with the loss as well?
I think coping with the loss, I'll talk about first, because that's taken years and it's not linear. You know, of course, the first couple of months after the loss was very, very tough, because, you know, you're grieving and you don't know where to begin your life from. You know, you don't know where to pick the pieces up from, because you don't even know where all they've fallen. But I think it takes a lot of time. I think time is the best medicine for situations like these. I think the great thing that happened after I lost my father was that, you know, a lot of people told me that don't try to rush it. Don't try to rush getting out of this, because it's not going to help. And, you know, you'll eventually end up damaging yourself furthermore. So don't try to rush it, and just the best way to get through it is to go through it. And I did. And that really, really helped. Talking about the kind of influence my father's had in my life, I think my father's always been my hero. You know, I remember getting this tattoo done when I was 16.
What does it read?
It says Suresh, and there's a star on top of that. And I remember getting this done at 16, because I remembered thinking about who my star is, and I couldn't think of anyone but my dad, because of the kind of hard work I've seen him put in his life to give us the kind of life we've had. You know, my father was an extremely ambitious person. He was a go-getter. You know, if he decided something that he wants it, he just wants it, and he will make sure that he will you know, do everything in his power to, you know, achieve it. And that is something that always inspired me. And that, you know, the best part was that it wasn't for himself that he was doing it. It was actually for us as a family that he was doing it for. So that's always inspired me. And I think that's also been my driving force every day of my life. To remember that I'm here because of my dad. And I will continue to, you know, take inspiration from that.
See that happening. It makes me so, again, I know I've been reiterating this, but it's just that seeing your journey, I know, as a matter of fact, Nayan and I, we have been so proud, and we hope that you continue to grow like this.
Thank you.
आगे बस यहाँ से और भी ऊपर ही जाना है.
बिल्कुल.
So lastly, before I wrap this up, because we don't have the time, I want to know, Mismatched 2 has begun. You have started prepping for it.
Yes.
What is it like? I mean, you know, just to give us a hint as to what is it going to be like. ऋषि इस बार क्या करने वाला है वहाँ पे?
देखो, वो तो आपको पता है भावना, आप मुझसे ये क्वेश्चन पूछ रहे हो, मुझे पता है आपके जहन में, आपको भी ये मालूम है कि मैं आपको इसका आंसर नहीं दूंगा, क्योंकि मैं अलाउड नहीं है मुझे बताना. But what I can say is that we've started prepping for it, which I already kind of gave like a small hint on my Instagram. But yeah, we've started prepping for it. Lots of exciting things in season 2 are going to happen, and there's a lot of things that are going on in the script of season 2. So yeah, that's all I can tell you. We're going to start shooting soon, so that's going to be very, very exciting. And then you're going to see me go MIA completely for 3 months. But yeah, I'm really, really looking forward to it.
And I'm really looking forward to all your projects, Rohit. And I am so sure your father is so proud of you, so are we. And looking forward to seeing you just, you know, just be on the top.
Thank you, Bhavna.